Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And with the return to LAN here in just a couple of days' time, Shotzzy's revealed his perspective on the online championships of the last couple of years, and then goes on to realise his own World Championship victory in Call of Duty was in just such an environment. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoy the video. Subscribe if you are new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. Really upset the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, did some cash. Thought a very interesting spot here on Tuscan. Like I think there was another spot recently on top of one of the statues on Berlin the pros may start to figure out how to use. Not really sure where this would be viable though, but there is some options. I'm not sure in Search and Destroy you can really see the bomb sites from here, but I was thinking maybe in Control it could be good, both on offense and defense. Like you can see where he's looking right here, maybe in a defensive position. Like this well, pretty unexpected spot as someone comes around that corner, might get you a free kill, but also even on offense, if you could potentially get up here if you're attacking B, then while your teammates cap the point, you could kind of hold the wraparound from the right hand side. No one's going to expect you up here, so maybe there's some options there the pros might start to figure out. This also from Breaker Point. Fantasy is live for the Major. If you guys played this in the Major on qualifiers the last couple of weeks, congratulations to those of you who won prizes for winning the entire thing and becoming top 5, I think. But it's time to do that all over again for the Major. So pick your team at the link in the description box below. Always a good time. aBeZy's $9, Narcy's $8, Illy's $7. The other, well, players are priced as well. $25, I believe, over the course of 4 players. I need to figure out what my team's going to be because, yeah, definitely deserves some thinking here. Deadline, I believe, before the matches start on this Thursday. This is the link on the website. You choose your 4 players, all that good stuff. Get involved, link in the pinned comment and description box below. Let's dive into things then. So, of course, yesterday, if you guys watched the IM Katowice finals, absolute banger, right? And there were some repercussions of this really in the Call of Duty scene in general. Lots of people were discussing it. You can see Crimsix's monitor right here. He's actually playing with the kind of black bars on the left and right hand side of the screen. Now, well, some pro players do this in Counter-Strike just because it kind of, well, tightens up the monitor. So, for example, the mini-map is instead of being all the way over in the far left corner of the screen, it's slightly closer to you in the middle. Therefore, like, that kind of helps with your peripheral vision. So this is kind of another example maybe of Crimsix just taking things to the next level right here, playing with kind of black bars as some of the CSGO pros do. They were also meant to be scrimming here up against the Minnesota Rokkr, and I believe there's even a comment in the chat that says, look, they're on a break right now, can we just get this underway? Because the Rokkr guys seem really quite frustrated with Crimsix and co, that they were basically sitting there watching the CSGO, and actually, well, weren't playing the scrim, weren't starting the scrim, as Clayton says, hashtag black bars. So maybe this is the play, right? Maybe this is the key for New York to get back on track for this Major, but well, as attackers as well, start the game. Like, he was getting pretty frustrated. That's where the Rokkr guys are like, okay, yeah, watch the CS all you like, but, you know, come on, lads, it's time to get cracking, because as Clay says as well, the tension in these finals, it was honestly insane. That Mirage was just ridiculous. We both started losers. Start it says attached. Like, you know, we've got to get ready to go. We've got to get some practice in. We're both in the losers bracket here for our Major tournament. So, you know, can we actually get some practice in to try and improve and get a decent run on the go? Because, of course, New York have a pretty tough time in their matchup. They play the loser of Los Angeles Thieves and Toronto. That's going to be, well, it's a tough run for them, no doubt about it. Now, well, this also from Scump. Counter-Strike is the best esports, but people were wondering, like, every time Counter-Strike has a massive event, people think, okay, hang on a second, Call of Duty is played in multiple different game modes. What if Call of Duty was just Search and Destroy, right? Would it be better? Would it be worse? In my opinion's always kind of been that, you know, Call of Duty would be significantly worse if it was just Search and Destroy. But, well, Hex kind of echoes a similar opinion right here. There are a few things you can say on this, right? First of all, I think that if we just played Search and Destroy and there was all 5 maps in the series, it would get very dull very quickly indeed. And, okay, maybe it's slightly more accessible for some people who never really played the other game modes and don't understand how hardpoint works and stuff like that. But the problem is, Counter-Strike and other games like it are just so well refined for that game mode. I guess it's called Diffuse in Counter-Strike, but it's basically the same deal. Like, that game is so well refined, the maps are so well designed, like, you've got all the different equipment, right, that you can use, all the different variations in the executes, whereas in Call of Duty, it's just, okay, do we hit A, do we hit B? Let's do that 11 rounds in a row and see who wins. And also, I've always felt that if we were just a Search and Destroy esports, then we would just be overshadowed massively by Counter-Strike and now Valorant as well, right? Because they just do it way better than we do it. So, like, you know, what's the point trying to focus on something where you're not the best at? I honestly think our best game mode is Hardpoint, really. Like, I think the best moments in Hardpoint are just incredible that it's very difficult for other esports to match up against. So I like the rotation we have. It might not be the most accessible for very new players to the esports, but I think it should be relatively easy to get the hang of over time. Something that did interest me a little bit more, though, was this suggestion right here on the Reddit that, you know, could they make it the team has to win by 2 rounds to actually win? Because the way it works in Valorant, for example, is if it goes 12-12 and it's a draw, then the next team to win 2 rounds in a row wins the entire thing. Or in Counter-Strike, they do it where you have to play, like, well, effectively up to 6 more rounds. You have to win 4 out of the next 6, which is why this round went absolutely crazy into 5 overtimes. Now, look, in Call of Duty, if they were to do this, the games could go very long, but it has been a question, should we replace around, I think there was even one game a few years ago, might have been Infinite Warfare or something, where in private matches you could select it to not go to round 11, but actually have a win by 2 rule in Search and Destroy, which would be very interesting. Of course, look, I think round 11 does some of the best things about Call of Duty, but at the same time, if a game was to go to Game 5 round 11 in the World Championship Grand Final, would it not be better if it wasn't just like a one-round showdown 50-50 coin flip, but rather it was like, hey, teams have to kind of grind out till we can go to some crazy overtimes like this Mirage went to in the series yesterday. So maybe that's something that could be considered in the future. Personally, I quite like the round 11s. I also quite like how the current way it works, you can predict the length of a series relatively well, because you know that, okay, maximum round 11, whereas, well, theoretically, in this type of overtime, the game could go on forever, especially if it's like defensive or offensive favored, or something along those lines. The OpTic Major, of course, is coming up this weekend. I thought it was really funny what Shotzzy had to say about it, well, some of the online championships of the last couple of years. He was playing League play, I believe, with Zuma, Scump, and Rambo, and well, having a good time at it. And of course, after the pandemic happened during Modern Warfare, the next few months of events were just all online, right? There were these home series tournaments with only 8 teams played in an online environment. And well, people still kind of count those as championship wins, even though you could argue, like, do they really count? At the end of the day, though, I think people certainly count the Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3 of last year, right, which was still taking place online, but it at least had all the teams in attendance last year in Cold War. But of course, also the World Championship of Modern Warfare was done online, where Crimsix, Priestahh, Shotzzy, Illy, and Huke won for the Dallas Empire. So, well, Shotzzy also did win a World Championship on LAN in Halo. He won the 2018 Halo World Championships in a LAN environment. But of course, this championship was done online. So I'll just share the clip that he had to say right now on kind of discussing the online tournaments of the last couple of years. And then he kind of realized, okay, I'm going to say, actually, my World Championship was done online. Maybe I'd better rethink it that these were all Mickey Mouse tourneys.
Come on, Bray.
I'm getting nervous.
This kid.
Come on, Bray. Come on.
Don't lie, you're nervous.
Oh my god, this kid. Championship count? I'm pulling that card out again, brother.
Oh, wait, Ray, how many chips do you have?
11, I think, with the online ones.
Oh,
God,
what?
sure.
That don't count. Actually,
That's all I had to play for.
Wait. What do you mean they don't count? Wait.
I'm not counting mine.
Everything counts.
Enemies planted the bomb at B.
Wait, what do you mean you're not counting yours?
Oh, Jesus.
wait, you're instigating. Wait,
What does that mean? Wait,
let
no,
him-
because that's what are you saying?
Clutch, bro. Let me get my.
No. What he just said is more important.
No.
I'm not letting that one.
Nah, alright. Champs counts, probably not the other ones.
Search and destroy.
Oh, okay.
Ray's just trying to clutch.
Oh my god. Wait. Yo, man, you can't be saying like that.
I actually can't. Alright, all the counts, dude. Wait, I just saw his Mickey Mouse ring. Nice.
Dude, you
Boom,
said,
boom,
you literally
boom,
said
boom,
you can't
boom.
say shit like that.
Wait, did you win one online?
Did I win what online?
Just anything? Like in MW?
Yeah.
Did you count it?
We won. Well, we won 2. We won 1 on LAN and 1 online.
Do you count that one online?
Eliminate the objective.
I mean, I don't know. Whatever people say.
So this, I think, has always been a relatively big debate over the last couple of years. Like, how much do these tournaments actually matter? Because, of course, it is all we had at the time. But, I mean, still, online Call of Duty is always held at such a different level to LAN Call of Duty. Of course, we're going back very soon, indeed, to a LAN environment in Texas. Like, well, it's going to be an OpTic crowd wherever they go, right? But especially for the home event here in just a few days' time. But, I mean, of course, like, of these events right here, this is the Modern Warfare season that, well, Shotzzy and the Dallas Empire played in. The Los Angeles event here that they won was the final LAN event we had before it went to online for the Dallas event next month, which was then done online, and then everything after that was online really until the middle of last year. So, of course, look, they won the World Championship 2020. The boys obviously very happy about it, but, well, there was some talk about, okay, is it a Mickey Mouse ring? Does it actually count for, like, a real tournament victory? Of course, look, Crimsix is going to count these as victories, but, I mean, still, even people said, for example, the Los Angeles Week 4, or even if we look at Chicago Huntsman's run, like the London event right here, there was only 8 teams in attendance. The Atlanta FaZe guys weren't at this London event. And even then, it was on LAN. People were like, okay, does this actually count? Then it goes to online. Huntsman win the Seattle one here in week 8, and that was, okay, how much does this really count? All these questions start to arise. But when it comes to the World Championship, right, then of course it's understandable Shotzzy kind of wants to count that one. I think there might be a fair point in this, in that, at the very least for the World Championship, like, at least all 12 teams were there, because I think it was just going to be the 8 teams, like the best 8 teams in the league. But then they changed it kind of last minute, so all 12 teams would be there, and last last year's challenge, not last year's, but Modern Warfare's champs, because it was online and all the other issues really with it. Like they said, okay, all teams can be there in attendance. So I think if there's one caveat, like it's online, then maybe it kind of still counts. But if there's two caveats, like there's, well, 8 teams in attendance and it's online, then maybe it kind of has less luster. I don't know what your guys' perspective is on that. I think really it should count in a way. Like, I mean, look, 3 championship rings for Clayster and Crimsix feels somewhat less valuable than Karma's 3 rings, right, that he all got on LAN. But still, I think they're relatively equivalent. They were certainly the best team. They probably still would have won on LAN regardless. Don't really think it's all that much of a big deal, especially with all the teams there in attendance. But it's just the unfortunate reality that we have to look back on these past events and make up our minds as to how much validity they had. We know that Crimsix talked about it as well right here. Like, all I want for Christmas was my Mickey Mouse COD ring. But they never actually sent me one, right? Eventually he got the rings, all that type of good stuff. But I thought a pretty entertaining debate, to be honest, there. And Shotzzy kind of realizing what he said, and the rest of the guys, I mean, Scump was kind of keen to go on it as well, right? Because the Scump's more challenging times in the online environment of the last couple of years. Just to finish off with this from Brian Stats I saw a couple of weeks ago, I think now, top 10 final tournament placings of all time. This is pretty baller, to be honest. Rambo up here in second, of course, we saw in that clip. But, I mean, yes, Swanee back in 2016, I believe he never played, he was going to play the World Championship that year, but it didn't happen because, well, some personal issues, and he had to step away, and he actually never returned to competitive play. Like, Swanee's such an enigma, man. I don't know where this guy goes. I love watching his streams when he's there, and then he just disappears for a few months, and then he'll come back a few months later. But he did win his final tournament he ever played in, which I guess it was like the Stage 2 playoffs on the European front. So that's pretty cool. Rambo was 4th at his final tournament back in 2014. Then, well, formal 5th, 6th, of course, this past year. And then most other players, after they retired, they actually came top 8 or a little bit worse. So I thought it was kind of interesting. But very much intrigued to get your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on a like button. Tell us your YouTube gods, this is a good video. Others like you should see it as well. And upgrade the competitive Call of Duty community. I think as always, take care. And I will see you next time.
He naturally just can't stop moving. Chat, we were playing Black Ops 4. We're at an event. We're playing Black Ops 4. It's the first time we're playing with MC. First time playing with MC. First time I ever seen him. He's stimming on Black Ops 4 when he's not even weak. Just spamming the stim button. He's running around, throwing shimmies and stuff, and all you hear is just spamming the stim button. And I said, MC, what are you doing? You're not weak or anything. Why are you spamming the button? Why are you spamming that? Like, why are you spamming the stim button? You're just making annoying. It's annoying as. I'm crackle. I'm cracked. I'm crackle. I like the doggo. I don't know why. I just like the doggo. I like it. I like it. What do you mean? Okay. Meanwhile, he's 50-5. Okay, no problem. Just spam it. Spam the out of it. Yay. All right. I'll follow you up. Matter of fact, follow me up. I'm gonna go in. Just follow me up. You can spam.